welcome back to another video by me, Moon. If you're new to my channel, I am Mo, and I guess you could say my last name is Moon. So my channel is Moon, and you stumbled across it somehow. I do tarot and oracle pick-a-card readings, as well as other videos that pertain to spirituality. So if you like this type of thing, I would strongly advise you to subscribe to my channel, because I do put out videos frequently, and I'm constantly uploading. I put at least one video out a week, and I really do love tarot, and I've actually decided that if you don't know me, I am very, and if you've seen some of my videos, you might know that I am very much an energy reader. I'm not very keen on predicting the lives of people, because I find it's very dangerous territory, but also because when you have several people watching a video, it's hard to, not throw in a message for this person and a message for that person. And then by the time you have like thousands of subscribers, you're just throwing out thousands of messages just so that you can talk to each person. So I very much want to use my channel to act like I'm talking one-on-one with the person that's watching the video. So for you who's watching the video right now, on your couch at home, or wherever you may be, I really want this video to feel like I'm talking directly to you, and we're one-on-one, and I'm opening my mind and my heart up to you, and just allowing myself to help you out as much as I can through what I've been through myself in life. And if you are interested in kind of finding out about my story, I do have a video. It's a 30-minute video about who I am and what my life has been like up until this point. So if you clicked on this video, it's because you're interested in picking a pile of divination cards. How this works is you use your mind to choose the reading that you want. There are 3 piles that you can pick from. There's one here, here, and here. So that's 3 piles. Don't worry about picking the wrong pile. As I said, I'm not going to tell you about your love life specifics. I am just going to, if I do have to say though, that if there's something that really comes out in my mind from divine that I have to say, I will say it, but it isn't my intention to predict your life to you. It is only my intention to predict the energies of the pile that you picked and to help you out in that way. So as I said, you use your mind, but I've added a little trinket on each pile to kind of allow you to remember which pile you picked, and also to kind of allow you to use your own mind and your own eyesight to kind of allow yourself to be drawn to the object of your choice. So the first pile I have is a rock, but it's not just any rock. It's a rock I picked up because I feel like there's a hieroglyphic on it. It almost looks like a dog or something. You see down there? There's like a hieroglyphic, and it looks like a dog with a little like something up on the top over it. So it's the hieroglyphic rock for the first pile, pile number 1. For the second pile, pile number 2, I chose this stick. It's actually a stick I'm going to be using for an arts and craft project that I'm doing. But I picked it up yesterday for that purpose, and I decided to use it to represent pile number 2. In pile number 3, I have a butterfly that is almost one of the only things I have left from my past. My sister, who is a Pisces, gave me this butterfly, and I almost tried to take off to Finland with it in my wallet as a representation of a new life that I would be starting. So that's pile number 3 for those of you picked pile number 3. I don't know if you've watched pick a pile readings before, if you're a pro at picking your pile. Really, no worries. I mean, you can watch all 3 readings if you want, and take what you feel is necessary for you. And if there's something that you don't understand or you don't care to know, just throw it out, and it'll be up there in your library for if you do need it further on in your mind later on in life. So, I'm gonna let you know what the cards are. So I'm using the Golden and Klimt Tarot. I'm using the Golden Art Nouveau Tarot. I'm using the Archangel Power Tarot cards. I'm using the Light Seers Tarot. I'm using the Good Tarot. And last but not least, I'm using the Wisdom of the Oracle. So, now that you know what the decks are, if you want to purchase them, I think I purchased all of them on Amazon. So, all right, guys. So for those of you who pick pile number 1, welcome. I'm gonna put the card holders up here so you can see the cards as I draw them out. Okay. So you guys picked the hieroglyphic rock. For those who've picked pile number 1. I'd love to put this somewhere so you could keep an eye on it. Alright guys, so what is the energy reading for the full moon? Tonight is the full moon. It's July 5th here in the Northern Hemisphere. So guys, for those of you who picked pile number 1, we're starting out with card number 5. And it is the Hierophant. So, the interesting thing is that I can totally relate to those who picked pile number 1 in this, that I actually had a card fall out of my decks when I was shuffling them for the video, and it was the Hierophant. And it reminds me that I told myself that I am just as good as anyone else to read tarot for those who are watching these videos, because I have a brain just like anyone else. And I feel like sometimes we look at people who are in a high position, and what I mean by that is perhaps you see somebody that you feel is a leader in their specific area of expertise, and it's almost like they're like this Hierophant, you see. So it's almost like the person that you're looking at is like this Hierophant, this priestly figure. And you see there's 2 keys making a cross, and I feel like these keys have come from the 2 people that are at the Hierophant's feet. And it could be that these 2 like friars, like these friars, or these men of spiritual bounty, have brought these keys to the foot of the Hierophant. And the Hierophant is every person that you look at who is got that splendorous crown on and has got like the say at the end of the day, because he's got the scepter in his hand, and he's the one that blesses the people, because He's got that hand of blessing that he's pointing up towards the divine. But in this card, guys, for those of you who picked the hieroglyphic rock, the message for you is you are your own idol. You are your own idol. So when I say idol, what do I mean? I mean, you're the person that you need to worship. You're the person that you need to have confidence will bless yourself. You don't need to bring the keys to somebody else. The keys are yours to open the doors that you need to open. And perhaps you feel like you're not good enough. Perhaps you feel like these friars at the bottom who have bald heads. Maybe you feel like something about you just doesn't measure up. But maybe you feel like, I feel like these friars with the bald heads actually shaved the top of their heads so that they would be fitting to worship the divine that they worship. Almost like to say, it's almost like when a woman puts a shawl over her head to pray in an evangelical church or a Catholic church in order to be able to be adequate to come before God and to pray and to talk to God. And it's almost like you've been trying so hard to come to God, to come to that divinity that you seek to worship. You're bringing the answers of life to this divinity, and you're asking your questions. And you're looking at this person or this idea of perfection, and you're thinking, please, please, I'm begging you. I want to be worthy. I want to be just like you. But as I said, you are your own idol. And somebody actually told me this, is that everything that you worship on the outside is within you. So you may feel inadequate. It's true, and I know how that feels. But the priest, the pastor, God, that person that you're putting on a pedestal for such and such a reason, perhaps they are perfect in the way that they do this or that. When you see that in somebody else and you admire it in somebody else, it's because it's in you. And all you have to do is bring those keys to yourself. You don't need to give those keys, the keys which can symbolize like opening a lock to something that is very, very special. You're bringing that key to someone else. Keep the key for yourself, and remember that you can open that lock for yourself, and you don't need anyone else to delve into your heart and tell you who you are. You can delve into your own heart, and you have the keys, and you have the power, and you are your own subject that you can worship. You have the priest, you have God, you have the goddess, you have the divine. Everything that you need is within you, and you are the church. You are the body of that divine. Your physical body is like that church. And when you come into yourself, it's like you're entering into your own church, and you could be wherever you could be. You could be out under a tree, you could be swimming in the ocean, you could be sitting on your couch, and just know that you don't need to be anywhere than where you are right now in order to worship and to love yourself. So the next card is the Three of Cups reversed. Three of Cups reversed. Chalices, it says. Let's turn it over so you can see. Three of Chalices. So In this card, we have a lot of female energy. Obviously, we have only 2 females and they're completely naked. And to me, that symbolizes honesty with oneself. But not only honesty with yourself, but honesty with that person that you are connecting with. And it's almost like there is a purity here. There's a purity and an honesty that allows them to truly give thanks and be grateful and to tap into a celebration of themselves. As you see, there's a chalice floating in the air, and it's almost like there's another dimension to this card because there's a magical aspect in the fact that the chalice is floating in the stars. And we see here that they're both holding a chalice. Each one is holding a chalice up into the air. And one is passing it to the other side of the woman, and the other is passing it to the opposite side of the other woman, and they've got flowers in their hair. This is truly a celebration. And yet they're completely naked, and they're in this beautiful place. And this is the card of perfection, guys. As I was telling you about the first card, the Hierophant, I was saying that you have everything that you need within you. And this card is an affirmation to you that you are perfect just the way you are. The celebration is the celebration of you. The celebration is the celebration of the balance of the purity and the honesty and the openness and the gratitude and the celebration and the luxury of who you are. And when I say the luxury of who you are, it sounds like a funny thing to say, but I'm saying the fact that, have you ever looked at yourself openly and honestly and allowed yourself to see this vessel that is carrying your soul? When you think about yourself as being an entity, and you think about the gift that you've been given to actually own your own body, to carry you around and experience the experiences of humanity in order to grow and ascend to a higher version of your soul that you are already experiencing, that is when you touch the divine source of everything that is. And so I guess this card is just saying that you started out with the Hierophant thinking, I need to go somewhere in order to worship. And then the second card, Three of Chalices, is affirming to you that you don't need to go anywhere to worship because you are the object of worship. You can worship your own body, your own temple, your own flesh and blood, your eyes. If you're healthy, if everything's working, if you're able to understand with a brain that functions properly, you are blessed. You are blessed, and you are so blessed. I won't say that you're specifically divine in the sense that those who can't think are not divine. I'm just saying you've been blessed in a divine way that you can look in the mirror, or you can take a look at your hands in front of your face and you can see your fingers, and this flesh that is decaying is holding your soul, is holding that part of you, that fire that's in you, that is alive, that will live forever. And when this body that you have decays and dies, you will have known when you get to the summer lands that your soul was able to experience life in that body that it will never ever be able to experience in another body ever again. The third card we have is card number 19. It is the Sun card. So this one is a little more wordy. It says the Sun, and it says Archangel Uriel. At the bottom of the card, it says, life is wonderful. Thrive through the power of positive thinking and inspiring success. Uninspiring success. Life is wonderful. Thrive through the power of positive thinking and inspiring success. There's so much beauty in this card. The Sun. The Sun is card number 19. It is one of the major arcana. It symbolizes passion. It symbolizes a new dawn coming over the horizon. Every day when you wake up and you see that the sun has risen again, just as it did yesterday and just as it will again tomorrow, don't you think of faithfulness? Do you think to yourself, wow, like clockwork, every morning the sun is there to greet me? And it says life is wonderful, and it's about paying attention to those little details, stopping enough to smell a flower, appreciating a rock with a hieroglyphic on it. Thrive through the power of positive thinking. It's about being grateful in your mind by bringing out the positive aspects of your life and thinking about positivity, always aspiring to grow with every new day, with every new rising of the sun. An inspiring success. So that is what success is, guys. Success is being like the sun, being faithful to show up for yourself every day, being faithful to shine for yourself every day, being faithful to shine on those around you because you are faithful, not because anyone else around you is or isn't, but just because you are. You are, and it's another day of your life, and it's another day where you've woken out of your dream or your dream state, and here you are again in that body that you've been given, and you've had another chance to wake up and to allow your soul to grow in its knowledge and intention and reflection and spiritual being. That soul that's placed on earth to grow, to experience. When you came into this body that you're in, into this life that you're in now, you came here with the intention that you were choosing the specific life that you've chosen, because somehow the opportunity that you were presented to have this life of yours was an opportunity you could not pass up, because you knew that you would learn something priceless. The next card we have is the Star card. Card number 17. It's a nice card. She's holding a string like a balloon that has a hold of a star, even though she is on Earth. I'm thinking about the brevity of life. and the eternal quality of the cosmos. I'm thinking about how each of us has a part of that cosmos within us, that part of a star that has incarnated into the flesh that we own, and how, if you can imagine that there's a star up in the sky that you took yourself from. If you can imagine a star, if you can imagine that the sun is a star, the largest star, of course, but if you can imagine just any star, you are a star in the sky. And a part of that star came off itself and placed itself in a human body. The star card is saying that you're still connected to that divine power, that cosmotic power that you came from. You still have that connection. You see, she's in a human body, but she's got that thread connected to the star and the cosmos that is spiraling around in purple and pink. And she's looking up and she knows that's where she came from. And even though she's sitting on the grass in the dark, on a physical realm, in that spiritual realm, she knows that's where she really came from, and that's where she really, really belongs. The next card we have is the Eight of Air. This is the Eight of Air. It's an angel reaching down from heaven. And I feel like there's a message here, but it's almost like it's going by too fast for me to grab a hold of and express to you. I apologize for making you wait. So, the Eight of Air is just telling me for you guys that the divine is watching over you as well. Spiritual beings are proud of you. Spiritual beings are doing their best to help you in any way possible. Spiritual beings do exist, and they're looking at you like you're that Hierophant, guys. So, you know how you were thinking about a person perhaps that was like the Hierophant that you were worshiping and handing your keys over to? Spiritual beings look at you that same way. What is she going to do next? What is he going to take on next? It's almost like they're watching a movie of your life and they're just like, oh my goodness, she's amazing. I can't believe she did that. Or, oh my God, how did he pull that off? What a genius. The last card we have is Orphaned. Card number 5. Orphaned. I don't know if you can see the face in the stone there. There's eyes, nose, and lips. And this woman, she's so sad. She's in a nest like a bird on top of a rock. And she feels orphaned. Guys, I know that it's hard to come from a star to live on Earth. It's not easy to pull yourself from such eternal essence and live in a body where you feel confined. Almost like you're the only one on the planet who's come from a star. Almost like you just want to go back to where you came from. I'm going to read the wisdom of the oracle for this card, Orphaned. So it was card number 5. Perhaps this will add a little bit of joy to your day in knowing that you're not alone here on Earth. Orphaned. Essential meanings is a sense of loss, an identity crisis, recognizing that you don't fit in, the need to belong, uncertainty about your place. And this is the oracle's message to you. We were all meant to have connections with other people within our families, society, and the larger culture. No man is an island. And it's important to recognize when being a part of, rather than separate from, is essential to your well-being. The issue at hand is the need to find where you fit. Be true to your core truths and values. Perhaps you no longer identify with a group or community the way you did before and need to find a new situation. You might be feeling a deep sense of loss or confusion. Address the need for belonging and know that you will find your place with others of like mind and spirit. It's okay to let go of pressure to fit in. Not everyone will understand you. It's time to move on. So guys, just like you are the people who chose a special little rock with the hieroglyphic on it. It's like a little dog. You're very special, and I know that there may be several people watching pile number 1's message, but don't let that dissuade you into thinking that you're any less of somebody who came from a special star out there in the galaxy. And when you imagine seeing a night full of stars in the sky, the dark night sky, can you count the stars, guys? Can you imagine each one of you came from a separate star to live here on Earth in this body that you have? And you're going to go back to that star one day. And you're going to be in the summer lands, and you're going to have time to rest. And you're going to have time to heal from whatever it was that hurt you in this life. But in the meantime, we need to be grateful that we have chosen an opportunity for each of ourselves to live in the specific body that you have, to learn lessons that only you will ever be able to learn in the way that you can learn them. I hope you guys enjoyed this pick a pile reading, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye. Hi guys, welcome welcome to the reading for those who picked the stick, pile number 2. So, let's just put it like that. Alright guys, so the first card we have for you is card number 2. And this card is the High Priestess. Well guys, you see she's got a cross on her chest. There's a lot of religious symbolism in this card, but you do see that she has a cross on her chest. If I can just hold myself still enough. And she's also got a scroll that says Torah. And the Torah is a Jewish biblical reference. She's also got a black and a white column on either side of her, and that kind of is a representation of the yin and the yang. So the yin being the negative energy and the yang being the positive energy, and the positive energy being that light sun energy, and the black negative energy being that dark moon energy, and also symbolizing both the god and the goddess. We also have a full moon on her crown, and a crescent moon down by her feet. There are also, if I can, pomegranate fruits around her, those red pomegranate fruits, and pomegranates are also a symbol of wellness. So with this card, for those of you who picked the stick in pile number 2, I'm getting a lot of energy regarding a connection to spirituality. It's almost like you are well versed in many different topics in regards to religion, in regards to different religions. You have a lot of knowledge, and you pride yourself on having that knowledge. So I also see a lot of humility in this card. It's a card that she isn't using that knowledge to give herself a sense of betterness, a sense of she isn't using this knowledge to give herself a sense of allowance to be a certain way. She's the High Priestess, so she's got a lot of feminine energy, a lot of subconscious recreation, a lot of moonlight experiences. A lot of things that you have seen have been very much by the moonlight, so to speak, in the sense that you have been delving into things that haven't been physically quantifiable. A lot of the things that you know are things that other people would never even fathom to understand, because they will never experience those things that you've experienced. So the High Priestess. The next card we have is the Five of Swords reversed. Five of Swords reversed. Let me just show you upright, but it says the Five of Swords. Five Swords. I'm sorry it's not focusing, but yeah, you get the idea. So there's 5 swords behind a maiden here who's almost made a seat out of her hair, almost like she's swinging on a lock of her hair, and she's looking back at that person who's swinging her on the swing. I don't know if you've recently been on a swing where you're swinging and you're looking back and you say higher, higher, you know, and then at the end of your session on the swing, in order to stop yourself from swinging, you jump off the swing. I mean, that's something that I could never do now, but it's something that as a child I loved to do. And I get a lot of sense of, you see, she's very happy. She's got a happy face on. She's smiling. There's that fire energy of her red hair, that life. It's almost like there's an eye peeking out over, like a malicious eye, almost like that childlike innocence in an adult, where somebody would think that they could take advantage of that childlike innocence in an adult, but they don't know that you have the High Priestess card and that you know a lot more than you may appear to know. The next card we have is Queen of Raphael. Kind, understanding, giving, psychic. Follow your heart, a love of home and family. Trustworthy psychic information. I feel like we have the High Priestess here again, but in another depiction. You see we have a woman here who's on a throne, just like in the High Priestess card, and she's got the earth, the water, and the air, and the fire could be symbolized by the angel that is above her, almost like that spurring, that energy that's spurring her on, the will that he's giving her. Queen of Raphael. So Raphael is the Cups suit. Let me just double check because I don't want to say something that isn't accurate. But I do believe that in the Archangel Power tarot cards, I believe that Raphael is the suit of cups. So yeah, emotion. Okay, so emotion is represented by cups in the tarot. So so Raphael is this is the Queen of Cups, guys. The Queen of Raphael, but she's also linked to Raphael. So it's interesting because she's linked to that divine energy, even though she's the queen. She has spiritual ancestry. She has spiritual guides backing her up in her situation, as if to say that you're not alone, right? You're not alone. You are a leader in the respects of what you have experienced and what you know. But, you know, you may feel at times like you've gone crazy. Maybe you haven't really learned the things that you've learned. That's what you might think. Maybe you think to yourself that those things possibly, you might think sometimes that those things weren't even true, that they come from nothingness, that you're just maybe a little bit crazy. But you have the Queen of Raphael, and she is the queen, so she isn't crazy. She has used her intuition, she has used her mastery of her emotions in order to become the queen of that suit. And she's backed up by Raphael, who is an archangel, and he represents, God and the purest form of spiritual beings, archangels. The most powerful beings are behind you. Raphael is behind you, and you have come a long way, and you have healed yourself in many ways, and you are a divine queen in your own right. The next card we have is the Six of Cups. So this is a cute card because you see there's a boy with his dog, his puppy dog, and he's grown up with the cups leading to him grown up as an adult with his dog now grown up as well. And that bowl in front of the dog, it could be the bowl's water, the dog's water bowl. And from when he was a child, he took care of his dog, gave his dog water every day, and then the 6 cups going down right down to where he is with his dog. I see a lot of loyalty in this card. I see a lot of persistent loyalty. I really feel like this is an energy that you understand, an energy of persistent loyalty to the divine, persistently working through many difficult situations in order to get to where you are today. Life has not been easy for you, but you know what it is to love. You know what it is to be a faithful companion to the people around you. The next card we have is the Hanged Man, card number 12. So this card is telling me again, you've been in a lot of uncomfortable situations and you've learned to be comfortable hanging upside down, and you almost feel like a circus performer. Maybe you feel a little bit like a jester, and I want to remind you that the jester is the intelligent one in the court. The jester is the one who creates riddles that question the king, and the riddles are so intelligent that the king laughs, thinking that it's just a joke, because the jester has worded it so profoundly, perfectly, that nobody can understand but the jester. And it's almost like you're the entertainer in life, and yet everyone seems to think you're a joke, and yet you're the most intelligent one there. You're the most intelligent one in the room, and maybe you act like a joker because you want to make people happy and you want to make everyone feel good and loved, and yet inside you feel depressed yourself. Almost like it's natural for you to make people want to feel accepted and loved. It's natural that you make people feel accepted and loved, but you just want to feel accepted and loved yourself. You want to feel accepted and loved yourself. And yet I feel like, guys, really, I mean, you're the high priestess. You have a childlike outlook on life. You are the queen of your emotions, and you're backed up by divine energy. You've been faithful and loyal to be the best version of yourself your whole life. You know what it is to be laughed at and to be looked at as the outcast, so to speak, the one that is only there to make people laugh. And yet, guys, this is the fates. We have the Fates. Card number 17, the Fates. And I'm just going to take a look here because I'm trying to see if I can see the face of the Oracle in this card. Because usually these cards, the Wisdom of the Oracle, have the Oracle's face in each card. But guys, I don't see the Oracle's face. Almost like this isn't a message that you haven't heard before. I'm going to read the book from the Wisdom of the Oracle because it's going to give us a nice little explanation of what this card number 17, the Fates, you know, it's almost like as if you love yourself regardless and you look at yourself as a divine piece of a star, like a fairy, like a mythical creature, and you know who you are. And you know that this was your fate because you've learned so much on your journey that how could you ever be angry at anyone? How could you ever feel like you aren't put on this earth to ascend to a higher place? So card number 17. Okay, the Fates. Okay, so the essential meanings are fate, karma, acceptance that there are things you cannot change, and knowing what those things are. The Oracle's message is this. This Serenity prayer sums up the meaning of this card. God, grant me the serenity to accept things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. There are things in life you will never have control over. The conditions brought on by the evolution of the collective, by nature and by your past experiences may be fated, preordained by spirit for a greater purpose you cannot understand in this lifetime. It may not be in your cards to understand why certain events occurred, but you can accept the mystery and work with what those events and your current circumstances have to teach you. This is the wisdom contained in the Serenity Prayer. Guys, I feel like this stick that you've chosen, this stick here, I feel like it represents a path, and it's a walking stick, guys. That's what it is. You've picked the stick and it represents your journey through life. And the walking stick is a walking aid. It's a piece of nature that helps you help yourself. And I feel like that's who you guys are. You help yourself through this life because you know that you are the only one that can help yourself, and you know that if you need to lead others up that path, you can, because you have your walking stick and you are backed up by nature, by the walking stick that you have, that you've chosen for yourself to climb up that hill, to walk through that path, or to forge your own path as you always have been. I hope you guys who picked pile number 2, the stick, enjoyed this reading, and I'll see you in my next reading. Bye, guys. Hi, guys. Welcome to those who picked pile number 3. I have your reading. You guys chose a butterfly. Alright, guys, so the first card, you guys have card number 1. We have the Magician. So the first thing I noticed is the wisdom of this card. Almost like a wisdom that was chosen from the foundations of the earth. It's a wisdom that follows the rules. It's a wisdom that is almost sensual in a way. It's a very physical sensuality. It's a very it's a sensuality that knows that it's sensual. Um, it's almost like a confidence in the flesh. It's almost like there is a little bit too much going on. Um, Almost like the magic is too great to grasp. Um, I feel a lot of confusion, but also action regardless. This is a card of eternal focus. It's a card of physical exhaustion to the point of allowing things to manifest. Um, there is a lot of nature represented in this card. As you see, there's flowers at the bottom of the card, and there's a tree above the magician. He's performing this ritual out in the forest or somewhere that is closed off to prying eyes. I just want you to see how assertive he is, how assured he is. He's almost like looking out, knowing that he isn't this body that he is in. He's a part of the divine. Then we have the Four of Wands reversed. So let me just turn it up for you. So it's the Four of Wands. And I see a lot of nurturing energy here, a lot of willpower to nurture. I see that you have been well taken care of, energetically speaking. I see that you have been well taken care of, but it's almost like things have been really, really balanced for you to the point where you almost don't understand the energies around you. And yet it's so strange because you had the Magician card. So it's almost like you've been nurtured in a magical way from a very young age in this physical body that you're in, to the point where it's just become second nature for you to be like that magician who is in touch with his magic, almost like you actually feel like you want to somehow regain a touch on the physical realm. The third card we have is the Empress. So it's card number 3. The Empress, Archangel Gabriel. So it says, time to act upon your plans. Creativity is rewarded. Luxurious or abundant resources. So obviously, the Empress is very, very, she's rich. She's rich in her creation. The world that she's created around her is a world that she's created in conjunction with the Emperor. She is a team player, but she is also a leader in her own right. Gabriel I'm not quite sure actually. I just have to look at the book. I feel like Archangel Power Tarot cards. I just want to see who Gabriel is because I'm not quite 100% certain on who Gabriel is. So Archangel Gabriel brings you this courage to encourage you to create. Your artistic talents alongside your nurturing instincts give you the ability to manifest beautiful and amazing works. Think of this card as representing Mother Nature, the Empress of creativity. Your plans will flourish and grow so long as you give them your devoted attention and love. If your focus is upon family matters such as relationships, children, or pregnancy, you can be assured of happy outcomes. Likewise, your career endeavors will also prove successful. Your interest in beautiful, luxurious, or artful pursuits is well rewarded at this time. Concerns regarding physical or emotional well-being fade away. While your ability to nurture others is wonderful, don't forget to also lovingly care for yourself. Time to move forward. Prosperity, a gift with growing plants and gardens. Motherhood, determination to get things done. Gabriel is the patron angel for those in the creative arts. Whether it's music, poetry, or other artistic endeavors, this archangel can help inspire your work to new heights. Gabriel is also known for being a loving and helpful motivator. If you're having trouble completing your projects, as well as for delivering messages on behalf of God, including announcements of pregnancy, call upon Archangel Gabriel for whatever projects you're attempting to give birth to. So guys, I guess if you have any creative projects that you're working on, you can call upon Archangel Gabriel to help you with that. And it's interesting because as I was reading this card, I was thinking about the Magician and how there is a lot of like creative energy flowing through this card. As above, so below, as within, so without. And in the same sense, as within, so without, as below, so above. We are all a piece of divine energy. And you know, it's interesting because they were talking about mother energy, and you had the Four of Wands, which has a lot of mother energy, but then again, it was in reverse. So it's almost like saying there's something to pay attention to, almost like as if what you need to pay attention to is something that you're maybe not aware of. So I don't usually want to give like that kind of advice, but perhaps there is something that you need to pay attention to that you haven't been aware of. Try to see what it is that maybe is making you feel anxious. If you feel anxiety and you think about a reason for why you might feel anxiety, I suggest you to look into that, but also to question why that anxious energy came about in the first place. The third card we have is Nine of Pentacles. Okay, so it was in reverse. So the Nine of Pentacles in reverse. So the Pentacles is a card of material things. It could be a person, it could be an object, but it has to do with the physical realm. It could be a garden plant. It doesn't matter what it is, but there's something that you're reaching for in this life, in the physical realm, and you haven't quite gotten there yet. I hate to give that kind of advice, but you see it was upside down, so it's almost like you're reaching for it, but you haven't quite grasped it yet. As you see, as if it was in the upright position, she's actually taken a hold of it, but there's something that you're still reaching for in the physical realm. Perhaps it has something to do with the creative energy that was talked about in the Empress with Archangel Gabriel, where you're trying to create something in your life, and perhaps this Nine of Pentacles is you know, telling you to trust yourself, telling you that you have been in this situation before, or something similar to it probably, and that you need to trust your gifts that you've been given, the abilities that you have nurtured and cultivated and allowed to grow in your life are abilities that you can use again in this situation. The next card we have is the Ten of Earth. So I get a lot of the message I have right now is to trust yourself. So it's interesting because you had the Nine of Pentacles in reverse, and now you have the Ten of Earth, and the Earth is also Pentacles, because as I said, the Pentacles is symbolic of material things, something, whether it be a person, an art project, something physical in the physical realm. And then you had the Ten of Earth, saying that it will come to fruition, that thing that you're working on that you haven't quite reached yet, like with the Nine of Pentacles. Now you have the Ten of Pentacles, and it's saying that if you keep your mind in the right direction, using those abilities that you know you've cultivated, you can sit easy and be at peace knowing that that thing will come to fruition. I'm just shaking my head because I don't like giving that kind. I like to read the energy. I don't like to read predictions because I feel like I want to talk directly to the person that's watching this video. And I don't know if this is the situation that you actually are in. For those of you who picked pile number 3, the butterfly, the creation, new life, new beginnings. But if you do feel like you resonate with this reading, would you be so kind as just to put like a thumbs up in the comments or something? The last card we have is Peace. Card number 23. And there's a dove. There's an egg with an oracle face in it. You see 2 eyes, a nose, and a mouth. And it says peace, almost like something in that egg is being created. Some sort of new life is being created. And in time, it is being watched over by the divine, as we see the dove here. And the dove is carrying a green leaf branch, as if to say, blessing this egg with abundant energy. And you see there's a star, creative energy, divine, magnetic, powerful energy in the egg. And it's on a green bed of grass, a smooth green bed of grass with no problems. The air, the clouds, everything is at peace around you in this endeavor, in this energy that you are experiencing. So I'm just going to read card number 23 for you from the Wisdom of the Oracle book, just to kind of get a better message for you regarding that 23, card number 23, the Peace card. Freedom from attachment, radical acceptance. Those are the essential meanings. And this is the Oracle's message for you. It doesn't get any better than this. A quiet mind, a heart fulfilled, freedom from want, and the soul satisfaction. The way to peace is through radical acceptance. Everything in your world is exactly as it should be. Harmony is beautiful. Enjoy it. Prosperity message. This is one of those times when you're capable of clear vision about your work and how you create your prosperity. Whatever you're doing, keep doing it. You're called by a presence to step into your power. Just being is enough, for you are in peaceful harmony with spirit, and it shows in your work. Now is a time for calmness and well-being in spite of temporary conditions. Even if there are dissonant notes in the music of your life, all that means is that you must go within and fine-tune the extraordinary instrument that you are. Find harmony within yourself and don't look to the outer world to provide certainty. This too shall pass. And once again, your life will be filled with beautiful music. All right, guys, and you chose the butterfly, and I feel like that's very fitting for this. It's almost like you're creating a new life for yourself, and you're on the right path, as the oracle said. Go within yourself to fine-tune those things that you feel are dissonant, that are sounds that are off chord, and you will achieve what it is that you need to achieve, because you have the Ten of Pentacles, which is the completion of the suit of Pentacle, the suit of Earth, the 10 of Earth, and you had the 9 of Pentacles reversed, which was saying that that thing that you were reaching for, like this woman who's reaching up, but it was reversed, so it's not quite there yet. You had the Empress, Archangel Gabriel, who was the creative energy behind what you're doing. You had the 4 of Wands on reverse, almost as if to say you're not quite sure how to nurture yourself, but remember you had the Peace Oracle message, was said that you can just go within and fix yourself, and you are the creator of your own universe, because you see it. You had the Magician card. You're creating this new life like the butterfly creates a cocoon. The Magician brings things from above and he puts them down below into the physical realm. So this is a very physical reading. The energy though is very good for you achieving this. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed that reading, and I'll see you in my next reading. Blessed be.